You're a doctor and want a better life in a foreign country. You have made a good choice by choosing New Zealand. The country needs skilled doctors and welcomes them. A great life awaits you. But how should you do it? Stay till the end to learn all of it. Hey everyone, I'm Behnam from the Visa Library. This channel gives visa information and the latest news and updates. First things first, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell and download the free cheat sheet my team has prepared from the link in the description. You should also follow us on Instagram and Facebook to get the latest visa news and updates. Now, let's begin. For the first step, let me ask you this. What are the requirements to immigrate to New Zealand as a doctor? Don't rush to Google them. Here they are. The first requirement is an English language fluency certificate. If English is not your native language and you have not studied in New Zealand or an English-speaking country, you have to have an English language proficiency certificate. There are other cases that exempt you from this requirement. For instance, if you have work experience as a registered medical practitioner in an institution where English was the first and prime language for at least 2 years. There are 2 approved tests that you can take to immigrate to New Zealand as a doctor. IELTS and OET. You need a 7.5 academic IELTS score and a 350 score in OET to become qualified. None of your skills should be below 7 score in the IELTS and your speaking and listening must be 7.5. The second requirement is having a medical degree. You must have a medical related degree. The center or place you have received your degree could be New Zealand, Australia or a foreign country, but the certificate must be from an approved medical center. The third requirement is to complete the recognition procedure. If you have not received your degree in New Zealand or Australia, you must send your documents to New Zealand officials for recognition. They check your documents and certificates to know whether your education is equivalent to New Zealand in terms of quality and quantity. The fourth requirement is to pass New Zealand registration examination, NZREX clinical. You must pass this exam to become a licensed doctor in New Zealand. I'll explain it a bit later. Now let me tell you about the self-assessment tool. The Medical Council of New Zealand has provided a free tool to applicants to assess their situation. It's a system of questions determining your eligibility and conditions to immigrate to New Zealand as a doctor. There are a few questions to answer and the tool tells what you have to do. The range of questions you have to answer to get the results is like this: the place you have got your degree, the type of your education, whether you have studied in New Zealand or Australia, if you have passed the qualification process or not, have you completed your internship or not, and other ones by your conditions. Are you wondering where to get this link? The link is in the description. Alright then, now that you know the requirements and the eligibility principles, what is the procedure you have to follow? Here it is. The procedure you have to follow to immigrate to New Zealand as a doctor is up to your qualifications, training, experience, and if you want to work for the short term or long term in New Zealand. You should know that the process is long and tedious. You have to pass several steps to become eligible to work in New Zealand as a doctor. The first step is to determine your eligibility by the self-assessment tool. As I explained earlier, the Medical Council of New Zealand has provided a free tool that helps you determine whether you are eligible to become a doctor in New Zealand or not. Determine your eligibility and conditions in the first things first. It gives you a roadmap for the stages you have to follow. The second step is fitness for registration. Doctors who want to work in New Zealand must be fit or eligible. It's among the requirements and the officials have the instrument to assess applicants for being healthy and work for it as a doctor. The authorities use these items to determine whether you're fit or not. 1. You can communicate and understand well with patients and co-workers. 2. Applicants do not suffer from any sort of mental or physical disorder that prevents them from practicing medicine. 3. Whether you have a clean criminal record certificate and have done illegal offenses, and if yes, it affects practicing medicine or not. 4. You pose no threat to public health and safety. 5. You are not under investigation for illegal issues in New Zealand and other countries. The question and exams by the New Zealand officials determine whether you are fit to work as a doctor or not. The third stage is to meet the English language requirement. As I explained, everyone who wants to work as a doctor in New Zealand must fulfill the language proficiency requirement. You are only exempt from this requirement if you are a native English speaker, you have studied in an English-speaking country, or you have work experience in an English-speaking country. There are a few other cases that exempt you as well, but if you need the certificate, you must have one of these certificates. 1. IELTS 7.5 academic, 2. OET 350 scores. You'd better begin early and improve your language skills. The fourth stage is statutory declarations and certified copies. New Zealand officials might ask for a statutory declaration or a certified copy of your documents. It's up to your case and their decision. What is a statutory declaration? It's a legal document used in the application process, and you make it in front of a verified person of authority. You confirm what you have provided or the documents you are true and correct. The declaration you make is up to where you live and your nationality. If you live in New Zealand, you have to make the declaration in front of one of these options. 1. A barrister and solicitor or of the High Court. 2. A justice of the peace. 3. A notary public. 4. The register or a deputy register of the Supreme Court. 5. The register or a deputy register of the Court of Appeal. 6. A register of the deputy register of the High Court or a district court. If you're a national of one of the Commonwealth countries, you have to make the declaration in front of one of these options. 1. A judge. 2. A commissioner of the oath. 3. A notary public. 4. A justice of the peace. 5. An authorized person by the law to administer an oath of a judicial processing. C. A solicitor of the High Court of New Zealand. 7. A Commonwealth representative. If you live in a non-Commonwealth country, make the declaration in front of one of these options. 1. A judge. 2. A notary public. 3. A solicitor of the High Court of New Zealand. 4. A Commonwealth representative. Now let's get to the certified copy. A certified copy is a copy that has been verified that is true copy and of the original document. New Zealand officials accept a copy verified by one of these options. 1. A council staff member. 2. A council appointed registration agent. 3. A justice of the peace. 4. A commissioner of oath. 5. A notary public. 6. A solicitor or barrister of the New Zealand High Court or a district court. 7. A register or deputy register of the Supreme Court. 8. A New Zealand police officer, senior sergeant or above. 9. A register or a deputy register of the Court of Appeal. New Zealand officials will tell you whether you need a statutory declaration and certified copies or not. The fifth stage is recognized primary medical qualification. You must have a medical degree from an approved medical school listed on the work directory of medical schools. You can find the links in the description. The year you received your degree from this medical school is important, and the school must have been on the list on that year. Visit the website and insert the following information: country, medical school name, city, whether you were operational or not. The result will tell whether the medical school you attended is on the list or not. Now comes the sixth stage, and it is to attend the registration meeting. If it's the first time you want to practice medicine in New Zealand, you must attend the registration meeting. It often gets called the registration interview. After the New Zealand officials have evaluated your documents and decided you're eligible, they will send you an email and a letter of registration eligibility. The letter provides the information you need to attend the meeting and what you must bring. The meeting is often held in Wellington, the capital city of New Zealand, or Auckland. You can also schedule your meeting at one of the mentioned locations. Remember an essential point: before you attend the meeting, your documents must get verified through the Electronic Portfolio of International Credentials (EPIC) service. This is a list of documents you have to bring to the meeting: passport, English language proficiency certificate, name change documents, photocopies of your documents. The seventh stage is the primary source verification. Doctors who have studied abroad must have their educational certificates verified from the primary source. What is primary source? It is the center that has issued the medical certificate, such as medical school. They must confirm that the certificate is original and authentic. The Medical Council of New Zealand uses the Electronic Portfolio of International Credentials (EPIC) service for source verification. The process works this way: ECFMG, Educational Commission for Foreign Medical Graduates, contacts the medical school where you received your degree and verifies that your degree is original. You do not need the source verification if a New Zealand medical school has accredited your medical degree or it was verified at source by MCNZ before 1st of November 2017. If you ask when you must send your documents for verification, it must have been completed before your registration meeting. You must send your documents to EPIC before you send your documents to the New Zealand officials for registration. The link is in the description. The documents you submit depends on whether you want to apply for registration, you want to sit in the NZREX clinic, and the registration path. The 8th stage you have to pass is the Certificate of Professional Status. This is a certificate that indicates the doctor is in good standing. It's an essential stage and officials cannot register you until they have received the COPS. There might be different names for COPS and there are other names that it is used for it. The Certificate of Current Professional Status, License Verification, Certificate of Good Standing, Certificate of Registration Status, Certificate of Professional Conduct. You need the COPS from every regulatory authority you have practiced in the last 5 years. The regulatory authority must email the COPS directly to New Zealand officials at their email address. New Zealand officials will not accept forwarded copies. If the regulatory authority issues a hard copy of the COPS, they should send the hard copy to the postal address. If the regulatory authority issues the hard copy of the COPS to you, you have to bring it to the registration meeting. The 9th stage in New Zealand registration examination or NZREX clinical. Every doctor who wants to work in New Zealand as a doctor must pass the NZREX exam. The result determines that you can work as a doctor in New Zealand or not. Remember that not everyone can apply to the new NZREX exam. You must be qualified and there is no exception. Here are the qualification exams. 1. You have a primary qualification. 2. You meet the language requirement certificate. 3. You do not hold New Zealand registration within the special purpose postgraduate training scope of practice, or you have passed one of these exams: Professional Land Linguistic Assessment Board, PLAB test part 1, Medical Council of Canada qualification examination part 1, Australia Medical Council MCQ, United States Medical Licensing Examination. You can take the NZREX clinical several times, but you must meet the requirements. The Medical Council of New Zealand recommends taking at least 1 year of postgraduate experience as a doctor. You take it in your home country to prepare better for the exam. It's not a requirement, but the experience will prepare you for the exam. Let me ask you this. How should you apply for the NZREX clinical? You have to apply through the email address and send your documents and the appropriate application form. Also, you need a photo of yourself and you have to verify that it has been taken in the past 4 months. The point I must repeat here is that your primary medical degree and prerequisite examination results must be primary source verified through EPIC. You have to complete the verification before starting for the exam. Also, the council verifies your English language test result with the organization that issued it, whether it's IELTS or OET. After you apply for the registration examination, the New Zealand officials will send you an email and inform you that they have received the documents. They will also send you an explanation to pay the application fee, which is up to your conditions. You have to pay the fee, then officials will process your application. The fee is non-refundable. If you do not qualify for the exam, the fee will not be refunded. It takes up to 20 days for the council to work on your application and decide on it. If one piece of document is missing or they need further supporting documents, they will inform you to submit them. When the processing is over, they will inform you to follow the next step. At this stage, you have to download, complete, and send some forms to the council by your condition. 1. NZREX 1, NZREX clinical application for new candidates. 2. NZREX 3, checklist of documents that must be provided within the application. 3. NZREX 4, application for repeat candidates. 4. NZREX 5, application to withdraw from an examination. 5. NZREX 6, application to change to a later examination. 6. NZREX 7, application for a recognition of the results. You can get the forms from the Visa Library article. The link is in the description. The council evaluates your medical knowledge and clinical skills. Then comes the day to take the exam. During the exam, you might have to take a focused history, present a preferred diagnosis, management plan, and investigation. If you're asking how to prepare for the exam, the council has provided a handbook and a sample of questions. You can use them to prepare yourself for the exam. Once more, you can find the handbook and the sample of the questions from the Visa Library article. The link is in the description. Let me bring you this useful question. Where is the location of the NZREX exam? It is held in New Zealand. You have to make an arrangement to enter the country and pass the exam. If you're not among the visa-waived countries, you need a visitor visa to enter the country and take the exam. The Visa Library team has prepared a video about New Zealand visitor visa or tourist visa. You can watch it on our YouTube channel to learn the requirements and application process. You can submit proof of registration to prove you are entering the exam and guarantee getting the visa. After passing the exam, you will receive the exam results in 10 working days through your email address. If you pass the exam, you can follow the next steps. Congratulations! But if you fail, the council will provide feedback so you can prepare for your next time and pass it. If you object to the results, you can ask council to recount the test results. But you have to pay the fee for a recount as well. When you pass the test, the council sends you the information you need to register as a doctor in New Zealand. The 10th stage is to register with the New Zealand officials. There are 3 types of registration that you need to complete, one stage but by your conditions. These types are often called scopes. You have to complete the registration with one scope by your conditions. Here are these stages. The first type is vocational scope. The scope is for resident doctors, resident medical officers, and doctors undergoing vocational training. VOC1 vocational specialist training, VOC2 vocational specialist registration, VOC3 vocational specialist registration, provisional vocational registration. The second type of scope is registration in general scope. This stream is for permanent specialist registration. It permits you to work independently as a doctor or medical practitioner in New Zealand. This is for New Zealand and Australian graduates, New Zealand and Australian graduates, NZREX clinical graduates, UK and Irish medical graduates, Australian general registrants. The third type is a special purpose scope. This is a temporary form of registration when you want to work in New Zealand for a specific purpose. You need to register through this stream. The purpose could be like locum tenens, teleradiology, visiting expert, postgraduate training, research, and other special purposes. You need to check each stream and determine which one is appropriate for you. The Medical Council of New Zealand has the names and subcategories of each scope, as you can register yourself in them. Now comes the last stage. It's to find a job offer and get work permit. At this stage, you need to find a job offer with an employer in New Zealand. You have to take 2 years of postgraduate training with an accredited training provider. 1. Postgraduate Year 1 PGY1, 2. Postgraduate Year 2 PGY2. The training requirement is for every applicant, whether you have studied in New Zealand, Australia, and abroad. The Medical Council of New Zealand ensures that the doctors get the required experience and knowledge to practice medicine in New Zealand. There are various ways you can find a job in New Zealand as a doctor. The choice is yours, and to choose one of them. You can use 1, 2, or a combination of them. The first way is to find a job on your own. Some websites advertise job positions in New Zealand. Websites like careers.govt.nz, seek.co.nz, trademe.co.nz, and Albany Executive Recruitment. The websites to find jobs in medical sections are Kiwi Health Jobs and Science New Zealand. There are other websites as well. You can see a full list of them in the Visa Library article. You can prepare a well-defined resume and apply to medical job positions on these websites to pass your training. The second way to find a job in New Zealand is through recruitment agencies. You can get help from them to find a job. They know employers and send resumes or search on your behalf. They help you find a job and have a fee or paying policy for finding a job for you. This is a list of employer agencies you can get help from: STAT Recruitment, Head Medical, Origin Medical Recruitment, NZDR. After you find a job, you can apply for a New Zealand work visa. Also, there is a skilled migrant category resident visa that lets doctors enter New Zealand. Visit the Visa Library to learn more about these visas and how to apply for them. Now let's answer some of the questions you might have. The first one is your salary. How much will you earn as a doctor in New Zealand? Well, your income is up to various factors. You cannot expect to earn as the same as an experienced doctor who has been working for a few years, but your average income is about 152,000 New Zealand dollars per year. The next question people ask is, how long does the process take? The answer is up to your conditions and the procedures you follow to become a doctor in New Zealand. A person who has studied in New Zealand or Australia needs less time than someone who has studied in a foreign country. The recognition process and evaluation of documents are long and tedious, and you might have to wait a few years to pass them. Part of the processing time is up to you, how long you need to get the language proficiency certificate and pass the exams, but part of the required time is out of your control, and you have to wait for the Medical Council of New Zealand decisions and evaluation. But waiting for 2 to 3 years is expected. As I told you, the process is long and tedious. Alright then, this was all you must know to immigrate to New Zealand as a doctor. If you have questions, write them down in the comment section. The Visa Library team will answer them. Before you leave, like this video, hit the bell, and don't forget to download the free PDF file that my team has prepared from the link in the description. You should also follow us on Instagram and Facebook to get the latest visa news and updates. Until the next video, thank you all for watching.